Skinny Hardaway Southern T, back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. If this your first time, do your boy solid. Don't make it your last time. Hit that subscription button as well. We talk these good boxing, MMA, sports, parlays, predictions every single day, not just today. Today, we here with a weekly boxing EP. We got some big fights this weekend, some big time rematches. We got Mikaela Mayer versus Sandy Ryan, part 2. Farmer versus Zepeda, part 2. We got Brian Norman defending his title. Right, we got Troy Isley in action. We got Tiger Johnson in action as well on the top rank card. We got Esperanza making an appearance in a defense against Valle, which should be a big fight in women's boxing. Shushu Carrington making an appearance this weekend as well. Emiliano Vargas also. So nice card this weekend. I ain't gonna waste too much more of y'all time. We got 11 fights to break down, so let's go and get into it. All right, so we gonna go and get right into it. We gonna start with Mikaela Mayer and we gonna start with Sandy Ryan. This is a rematch. I think this fight ended in a split decision or a majority decision or something like that. I had Mikaela Mayer the first time in this fight on the points. She did get the decision on the points. This is basically Mikaela Mayer's boxing ability, her jab right versus Sandy Ryan's come forward, offensive first kind of style. Mikaela Mayer was able to win a split decision in the last fight. I'm taking Mikaela Mayer for another split decision win. This fight gonna be close either way, y'all, right? If you asking me for the best bet, right, it'll probably be this fight to go the distance. Probably ain't gonna be worth that much, right? But I got Mikaela Mayer on the points, probably with another split decision win. Right, we got Brian Norman Jr. versus Derek Cuevas. Brian Norman Jr. 26-0. Derek Cuevas 27-1-1. Derek Cuevas kind of likes in the round, right? Come for fighter. Basically, he either wins his fights by knockout or he loses. Right. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think that he's been stopped. Derek Cuevas, no, he hasn't been stopped. 27 fights, 19 KOs. Right. One loss from Puerto Rico. Hasn't necessarily fought the highest level of competition, right? Brian Norman will most definitely be, his best opponent up until this date. I think Brian Norman has multiple ways to win this fight, where Derek Cuevas, he's probably going to lean more so on trying to wear Brian Norman down. I think Brian Norman has the higher IQ. Think he's the better all-around boxer. I think, in my mind, right, due to the style of fight, right, Brian Norman could stop Derek Cuevas late in the fight because I'm thinking Cuevas is going to be moving forward consistently. That's either going to give Brian Norman a lot of problems, right, or that's going to get Derek Cuevas knocked out later on in this fight. The over in this fight hadn't dropped yet, right? Maybe the over would be a play that you want to look into. But Brian Norman for the win, for sure. And I'm thinking that late round stoppage, maybe Brian Norman 7-12, right? But take the money line, parlay that thing up. Next up, we got William Zepeda 32-0 versus Tevin Farmer 33-7. This is also a rematch, right? Like Mayer and Sandy Ryan. Honestly, y'all, if you asking me, man, I think Tevin Farmer had this fight in the bag, right? And I don't know whether it was like ring rust because he was out for a minute, right, or whatever it was, but he kind of let off the gas a little bit, right? And then he regained it at the end, you know what I mean, a little bit, right? I've been watching, footage of Tevin Farmer. He looks in great shape, you know what I mean, for this fight. So I'm thinking he's not going to have that dip in the late round. William Zepeda, again, kind of a fighter that like to come forward. His offense is kind of his defense, right? Tevin Farmer is the better boxer, more defensively sound guy. The question is Tevin Farmer's gas tank going to be able to, I ain't going to say his gas tank, his conditioning, right? Because he was out. He's more in shape for this time, right? But his conditioning, is his conditioning going to hold up? He's getting a little older, right? He's not the youngest anymore. Still a damn good boxer, but not the youngest anymore. So is his conditioning going to hold up? If it does, I think Tevin Farmer wins this fight on the cards. I think the best bet will be to take this fight to go the distance, though. right? Because they gave it to Williams and Zepeda the first time. And some people feel like Tevin Farmer even beat him the first time, right? I wouldn't argue with you if you feel like Tevin Farmer won that first fight. You know what I mean? 'Cause most definitely feel like he was in control of it early, for sure. But if you're asking me who's going to win this fight, I'm taking Tevin Farmer on the points, right? But if you want to bet it to go the distance, I think that's a good play, too, because I don't think nobody gets stopped in this. And you should get pretty decent odds on it, right, because it's a Williams and Zepeda fight, right? I got Tevin Farmer on the points. The fight goes the distance for sure, though. All right, moving right along, we got Bruce Shushu Character versus Enrique Vivas. Enrique Vivas is 23-3. Shushu Character is 14-0-1 with one draw. Shushu Character. In this fight, no. Shushu Character don't got to draw. My bad, draw. I'm sorry. He don't got to draw. He got this split decision that time. That wasn't no draw. My bad. But in this fight, I think Shushu Character is much more talented than Enrique Vivas. Enrique Vivas has been in there with Joel Gonzalez and Eduardo Baez, right? But those fighters not the caliber of Shushu Character. I'm thinking Shushu Character probably wins this fight on the points, but Shushu Character, one of those guys, depending on how you feel, you just don't know if he go, win on points or get the KO. So I think he wins for sure. And if you had to ask me, I'd probably say Shushu, decision, right? But Shushu Character for the win for sure. All right, the next fight, we got Delonte Tiger Johnson versus Kendo Castaneda. I think this is going to be a good matchup for Delonte Tiger Johnson, right? Kendo Castaneda is the type of fighter that gives Tiger Johnson problems, right? The brawler type of fighter who comes forward, makes it a rough kind of fight. I think Delonte Tiger Johnson is more talented in this fight, right? But how is Delonte Johnson going to handle the pressure of Castaneda? I think Delonte Johnson will be able to weather the storm, of Castaneda, right? With his boxing, with his jab. He just, as long as he doesn't get, frustrated or flustered, right? I think he'll be able to win this fight, with his technical ability. Castaneda is try to make this a rougher fight, right? But I think Delonte Johnson finds a way to win. I got Delonte Johnson decision. My bad. And Delonte Tiger Johnson is 14-0, and Castaneda is 21-8, right? So he's not a guy that can't be beat, but I do think style of fight, he's gonna give Tiger a little test, but nothing Tiger won't be able to handle. Again, Tiger Johnson on the points. Now, Troy Isley is supposed to have a fighter on this card. Can't find it on BoxRec right now. But he was supposed to fight on this card, 14-0, 5 KOs. If he does fight on this card, if the original fight is supposed to go on, they took it down completely. So I can't even remember the guy's name that he fight. But I had him winning that fight on decision, right? So Troy Isley decision if he fights the original opponent. And it's two prospects on this card I want to run by y'all. Emiliano Vargas and Dedrick Crooklyn. Dedrick Crooklyn is an Olympian, right? This will be his second fight. Emiliano Vargas is 12-0. He'll be making his way into probably, that contender stage after this fight, right? This is a step-up fight for him. He's fighting a tough vet, right? So, depending on how he handle this guy, right, Emiliano is going to be, probably stepping up against a name's name in this next fight, right? So, got my eye on this fight for Emiliano Vargas. And, yes, this is Vargas' son. And Derek Crooklyn, again, he's an Olympian. This will be his second fight. Interesting to see how his career go. Top Rank do got a niche of finding, the top prospects. But once you hit a certain level, Top Rank, you probably got to lead there to really, seek your true value. But they do a great job of, finding these prospects and turning them into stars. Just don't do so well with, breeding the superstar, right? But those two guys are going to be on the card, too. I think both those guys should win their fights as well. All right, in the next fight, we got Marlon Esperanza versus Yacasta Valle. Valle 32-3. Marlon Esperanza 15-2. I'm going with Marlon Esperanza, and this is gonna be a good fight though. Unification fight, if I'm not mistaken. Both these women are champs, if I'm not mistaken. This is gonna be a great fight, though. I'm expecting this fight to go the distance, right? You could lock that up. I got Marlon Esperanza on the points. This is going to be one of Marlon Esperanza's toughest fights. Marlon Esperanza will be the toughest fight that Valle has fought, and Valle has been in some good fights, right? This is gonna be a battle of two veteran tested, you know what I mean, women, probably the top two women in this flyweight division, you know what I'm saying. This may be the two best flyweight women on earth, right? Actually, it is if you're going, you know, Marlon Esperanza moving up a bunch of weight classes, right? You know what I mean? No, not moving up a bunch of weight classes, right? But moving through, you know, a nice amount of weight classes. Marlon Esperanza, right? You know, pound for pound. She's challenging Valle for her strap, and I think Esperanza already got one in this division, right? So I got Marlon Esperanza on the points. I think she'll be able to maneuver her way through, you know, the Valle. I think, you know, Marlon Esperanza outboxes Valle in the end, not because she can't box, just because I think she's the higher level boxer. And last but not least, we got Oscar Collazo versus Edwin Hernandez. Oscar Collazo 11-0, Edwin Hernandez 13-2. I'm taking Oscar Collazo in this fight. Oscar Collazo probably 7 to 12 round stoppage, right? The over methods ain't dropped just yet. I think the over will be good because I think Collazo stops him later on. He's not a guy that goes out and just look for stoppages. He has 8 stoppages in his 11 fights, right? So he can't get the stoppage, but he's a guy who uses his boxing. He's a boxer puncher kind of fighter, right? He uses his boxing to open guys up for the knockout, and he has solid power in his hands. He does have that one-shot knockout KO, and even at minimum weight, right? Got a couple of those on his resume as well. But I think Oscar Collazo wins this fight pretty smoothly, not because Hernandez is bad, just because I don't think he's on the level of Oscar Collazo. Oscar Collazo, late round stoppage, 7 through 12, or you could take the over, you know, when it drops. All right, before I get up out of here, I'm going to give y'all the parlay. Don't got the methods or all the fights out just yet, right? But with what they got, we going to take Shushu, Brian Norman, Michaela Mayer on the points. We going to take Shushu, Norman, and then Mayer on the points, right? 3 separate things. And my underdog is Tevin Farmer at plus 425. You know what I mean? So take that thing to the bank. That's all I got for y'all, though, man. Skinny Hardaway Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future, but just the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Look, make sure you subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell a friend.